Hello, this is Robin Bajent, your instructor for Introduction to Human Resources Management Spring 2020. This video gives an overview for what to expect throughout the term, and we'll take a quick look at the syllabus and just highlight a few things. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll say that multiple times because I want to be of help. And I want to make sure that this class is a good experience for you. Let's start with the introduction screen. When you first log in into class in Canvas, you'll see the big center area. That's where I will give you messages each week, and if I have any announcements throughout the week, I'll add them in there as well. Off to the left, you'll see announcements and other areas. Now this is the instructor view. I'm going to switch to the student view. We'll probably go back and forth a little bit so that you can see what to expect. There we go. Announcements aren't posted up there right now because I haven't sent any out, but when they are, they'll actually come to you directly depending upon what you've set up in your account. And you can click here and then set up your account connections how you want them, and that way you'll get announcements in a timely manner. And I'll also post them in the class site. As an FYI, there are to-do items on the side, but I encourage you not to pay attention to them there necessarily. You're going to get a better result if you go into modules and you use that information for what you're working on, because it gives you a more concise, more direct idea of what we have going on. Plus, as an example, in the general course information, because those aren't necessarily to-do items, they're actually web pages, they don't show up in your to-do list, so it can mess up what you're seeing and not seeing. So again, I encourage you to go through modules to see your different assignments. While we're here, I'll come back to this general course information in a minute. You'll see that your work is set up in modules. That's because that's how the world works in human resources management. You'll get a variety of tasks at one time. It's up to you to sort out when they're going to get done based on when they're due, and handle all the pieces working backwards so that you can schedule them and do a quality job on each task based on the time necessary for completion. So you'll want to go through everything, see what there is, put it in your calendar, know that the absolute, for example, in this module, the absolute cutoff date is February 2nd for the general coursework. There are a couple of items that are due Wednesday of the week 1 there so that I can turn things in for attendance and financial aid purposes. Let's go back to general course information. All the way at the top is, well, it's just how-to videos. If there's something you're not sure about how to do in Canvas, you can look here. I mentioned notification preferences. This is where emails, announcements, and things are pushed out through Canvas, so you'll want to make sure that's updated. You'll want to update your profile, things like that. And then these items are working with others and working with Canvas. We'll talk about the syllabus last. Going in, instructor information. My office has moved. I am now in Canyon 132. So if you come in the main entrance in Canyon from the parking lot, they're going to be doing remodeling, so it'll be all a mess, but you turn right, and instead of going up the ramp that's there, you go down the little hallway. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. You go about halfway down, you turn right, you go all the way to the end under the stairs. I'm not kidding here, this is real. Under the stairs is a door. You're going to open the door and you're going to go out into a warehouse, and I'm out there in an office. Please come say hello. Anyway, a little bit about me, my background. Next on the list is APA formatting. Everything in business is in APA formatting. I personally use the Purdue Online Writing Lab in everything that I do. It's a great resource. It has examples and it walks you through things. But you'll definitely want to make sure that you comply with that. You will lose points if you don't. We do some specific discussions, and I'll show you those in just a minute. But the points I want to make here are that you do need to take part actively. You need to take part over multiple days, and you need to provide quality additional information when you post, so that the discussion, well, there's a reason for you to be involved in the discussion. If this is your first online class, this is a great article. You want to read that. And then just as a reminder, all CSI students get Microsoft Office for free. So just to show you where to go for that, from the main CSI website, click on My CSI. There's other ways to get there as well. See these little 3 dots? Well, 9 dots actually. It's called a waffle. You click on that, and then you go to Office 365. You can get to things from here, but you're just using the online versions, and they're very restricted, and it's a pain in the butt. So if you come here, you can see Install Office, and just click on Office 365 Apps. If you're working on a campus computer, they're already installed. But if you're doing a home installation, just do that. Install them to your computer so that you have the full capabilities. Let's see. Before I go into the regular view here, let's look at the syllabus. Some general information. Every Wednesday evening, I host an office hour via Zoom. It's virtual, so you can do it in your pajamas. And I'm online for an hour. We talk about different, if people have questions, we address those. If they don't have questions, we just talk about what's going on in business in the current week. You do have my cell phone. Please be gentle, nothing too early, nothing too late. I will not be happy. Here's our textbook. You're encouraged to buy used. I do not use publisher-supported materials, so you do not need to buy a new book, but do make sure it's version 4, or anyway, it's number 4, HR4. It is helpful if you have noise-canceling headphones. That way, when you join us in the Zoom session, you're able to talk and not just type in the chat area. Much more interesting. Here's the student learning outcomes. These are the things we're going to cover in class. These are course topics. We use badges in this course. So it's something that's fairly new to employers. Not all have gotten on that bandwagon, but I wanted to have them available so that if you have an employer who uses badges, that you're basically cutting edge. You're ready to go. So the course has them, and you're able to connect with them. Here's the grading, A, B, C, F, and incomplete. The breakdown for assignments and their types and points. Support information from the term or from the college, and then a tentative course schedule so that you know what to expect throughout the term. So let's leave student view. I know I'm going through this pretty quickly. Sorry about that. Go back into modules, and you can see Module 1 has a fair amount of work. We're going to conclude that, and then you'll use all of this as we're taking part in this discussion. That's the only thing that you have for this week. I do expect active enrollment or participation with your first posting by Wednesday night and multiple postings after that throughout the week. Then Module 2, weeks 5 through 7, again, you have multiple assignments. In week 1, your project is interviewing someone who works in the human resources management field. There's a lot of different types of jobs in that field. I encourage you to find a company that you're interested in working with and seeing if you can find out or if you can interview someone in their human resources management department. It starts giving you an in into the company. The project for Module 2 is writing a job description, job analysis, things like that. So you'll be using all of this information to be able to make that happen. And then in week 8, we'll have, just like we did before here where we had the case study, you'll have another case study here. Module 3, more work. This one's only 2 weeks, and then you have spring break. I don't assign work during spring break. Module 4, a little bit lighter. You do have another project. This time is a training development project. By the way, in Module 3, weeks 9 and 10, you have a performance improvement project. So that one is, if you had someone who was having trouble, how are you going to work with them to improve, or at least track that they should be improving? We finish with a couple of case studies so that you can illustrate that you have learned what you needed to learn and you have mastered the outcomes listed for the course for these. And then we have the final exam, which is 10 short essay questions worth 25 points each. And I'll actually be opening this in week 6, and it has to be done by the middle of week 16, and it has to be done by the middle of week 17. So that is the course in a nutshell. At the end of the course, I do ask that you complete the course evaluation. Once there are announcements, that will also show up in your area. Again, if you have questions, let me know. Thank you and welcome to class.